Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Alt Kings podcast. I'm your host, Tate, and today I'm joined with the Fearless Bulls Club and their founder, DJ Tricks. How you doing today, DJ
Hey,
Tricks?
yeah, good, Tate. Yeah, thank you for having me, my brother. Nice to be here with you today.
Very happy to have you. It's one of the first Solana projects I've hosted on my show, and it's a true pleasure. The Fearless Bulls Club have one purpose, and that is to create the largest community-based investment DAO on Solana. Now, you've caught my attention with that, I'd have to say. This is the first time I've ever really heard of an NFT project really focusing solely on community-based investment DAOs. And I'd love to know, before we get into that, what'd you do before Web3?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good place to start, actually. So, yeah, my name's DJ Tricks. My name's actually, DJ Tricks. I'm a DJ. That's my background. I've DJ'd for, let me see, it's my birthday tomorrow.
Happy early
And
birthday.
yeah, I started DJing when I was 14. So it must be, yeah, almost 30 years that I've been DJing for. I was lucky to play sets in some incredible places, big festivals, clubs, places all over the world. Did Paris Fashion Week, did like residency in Amsterdam. It was Smoke Perps DJ when he was in London last. And yeah, I've always DJ'd, but I've always done. I've enjoyed business as well
Yeah,
and sales. So I had 10 years of working in recruiting. Did pretty well. Did okay, and I was quite good at recruitment. Put everything into it for about 10 years up until 2015 when I sold my shares in a recruitment company. I founded the company in 2010, sold the equity at the end of 2014, and started one of the UK's first growth hacking marketing agencies in 2015.
wow.
So that was the step away from recruiting. Like I loved recruitment, but there was a bit of a stigma attached to recruiters. Everyone's like, "Oh, you're a recruiter. You go to parties and you network and people ask you what you do." And towards the end, I cringed a little bit when I said that I was a recruiter. I wanted to be something new. So I like the idea of being able to say, "Oh, I'm a DJ, but I have a growth hacking agency and I do marketing." And so I moved into
I think you're an
that side.
entrepreneur at heart. Look at all those shoe
Yeah,
boxes behind you. That says a lot.
yeah. There's a good market for shoes in the UK at the moment. So yeah, that's it really. I still got the marketing agency. I still do work for clients on the marketing stuff. Learning TikTok ads at the moment,
Nice.
advertising shoes. Funnily enough, on
Yeah.
TikTok. So interested to
Yeah,
see how that runs.
definitely. And it seems as if your background, from what you've already mentioned, marketing, entrepreneurship, those things really align well with Web3 and NFTs, I'd say. You need both, and they play pair and pair regarding trying to develop your own NFT collection, things of that nature. Anything you really want to do, either regardless of it being selling something, selling a service, selling a product, you need marketing and you need to know how to sell. I think those are two large factors if you're trying to get into this space that are vital.
Yeah, there's a lot of marketing people in Web3 actually.
Yeah.
I think some of the best marketers in the world are working in Web3 at the moment. You
Def-
see it, a lot of the people I talk to on Twitter, on the Spaces, on X. There's some really good marketing people on there. So yeah, but always loved crypto as well.
Nice.
Always loved it. I first got into crypto years and years ago, and was always fascinated by it. Found out about crypto from poker forums all the way back in like 2011, 2010.
You're in
And
it. You've been in this for over a decade now. Wow. You're one of those
man, yeah,
OGs. You're a trooper.
yeah, I wasn't really buying it, but I was very actively discussing it with all the high stakes players in the poker forums when Bitcoin was sub $1. And I think I first bought it after I sold my company when Bitcoin was $178. I remember the first buy,
Oh my.
and that must have been November 2014. So yeah, always dabbled in it, like dipped in and out a little bit, but decided to go full time, like all in. Boxing Day 2020 was when I just had a decision to make, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm really going to go for it this year. I'm going to go all in, everything, pretty much drop everything. I had a radio station, and I closed. I didn't close it, but I walked away from the radio station, stepped aside from most of the other things that I was doing at the time, put all my attention into trading crypto.
It's a leap of faith, but I feel as if it probably played off in the long run. And it's one of those things where trading may be a risk factor and it may be very volatile, especially in this market. But if you can learn just one chart, you can really and you can master that one chart specifically, you can more than likely make money for the rest of your life. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that
All it
was
takes
to
is
start
one
off
chart.
with, that was what it was. Yeah, I was focused on the ETH US dollar chart, then the Bitcoin US dollar. They were my 2 charts that I focused on the most to start with.
Nice. So I'd love to
Those
know
2.
now, starting to dive a little further in the Fearless Bulls Club, what sparked that initial spark that ignited the idea of the Fearless Bull Club and more or less the community based investment DAO?
Welcome to Gilmore Estates, where we pave your way to real estate success. Our state-of-the-art platform is tailored to empower people from diverse backgrounds, helping them thrive in the world of real estate investment. Through the magic of Hedera NFTs, educational resources, and regular evaluations, you'll not only learn but also earn valuable HTS token, G-Coin rewards along the way. Our innovative tokenomics model closely replicates real estate cash flow dynamics, meaning the more G-Coin you possess, the larger your monthly cash flow. And the cherry on top, our Launchpad grants you the opportunity to own fractions of assets from well-established real estate holding companies. Unleash your potential and start your journey to financial success with Gilmore Estates today.
So, yeah, it's an interesting one, Fearless Bulls Club, because, like, I'll be honest with you, it wasn't my idea.
Wow.
Like, the brand name, the Fearless Bulls Club, I did not come up with the idea. I didn't invent the name or the brand or
It was the
anything.
previous partner?
It was the previous partner that at the time I was working at Magic Eden. I was doing the podcast. I had a really nice life, to be honest. I had my marketing agency. Everything was blessed. And I also had a small crypto fund, like private fund, just like a few people.
Sure.
Me, I had my own funds in there and I had a few investors, and I would basically manage the capital. So we were like, this is before I was really super deep into NFTs. I was doing DeFi on Binance Smart Chain and on Matic, and the fund performed pretty well.
Yeah.
So I was doing that, and I loved the idea of, we've got a fund now. It's doing well. It's performed well. I think it must have been like 2 or 3x over a 6-month period. And obviously, it was bullish times. It was 2021.
Yeah.
But I liked the idea of, like, how do you scale this into something bigger? And I also like the idea of group buying NFTs, because NFTs were really hot, still are in some cases. And so one of the investors from the fund came to me and he was like, "Oh, I think I want to launch an NFT project. Can you help me?" He said, "I've got this idea. I want the NFT to look like the Wall Street Bull and the statue that's outside Wall Street. They have a statue there
Yeah, the
of a
Golden Bull.
bull,
Yeah.
the Fearless Bull statue, and there's a girl which a marketing agency placed opposite the statue to represent female empowerment, and it's an iconic New York image which
Yeah.
relates to the financial center of the world. And so at first I wasn't sure about how can that be an NFT. NFTs are usually a profile picture or a monkey or like some animal.
Cartoon
So it
characters.
was,
That's what most people
yeah,
perceive them to be. Yeah.
yeah. So it was a bit of an off-key NFT concept, but I did the idea. And because I was deep into like crypto and NFTs, over my course of trading and playing with NFTs, I'd met a really good developer and a really good artist and some other people that could help with community management. So I had some really good links to put it together. And this other guy had the idea of he liked the idea of the Fearless Bulls Club.
Nice.
So I was an advisor to the project to begin with. I was like, oh, okay, we should use this artist, and I advised on how do you turn that statue into 10,000 pieces of art, and I worked with the artist to make the art like really sick. All the references in there. We put an NFT in the back pocket of every girl. but we put all different cultural references. The Kill Bill, we called it Kill Bull, not Kill Bill.
That's cool. That's clever.
With the Kill Bull suit on, the Uma Thurman yellow suit. We put Spider Gwen in there. There's just tons of references, which between me and the artist Unicris, we worked on that collection for weeks and made sure that the art was like dope.
Perfect.
So,
and that's the process you have to go through. You have to really sit down with whoever is drawing that art for you for your collection and make sure that there's nothing wrong with it. Because I see a lot of collections who release onto the market who allow an artist to draw all of their inspiration and create all the art for the collection. But where they fail at is sometimes these artists, all these overlaying traits, sometimes these traits don't align properly. And then you're starting to see some of these NFTs where there's just funky traits on different spots and they just don't look right. And so it's nice to be able to take that time and make sure everything's pinpoint perfect before you bring it to market. And then you won't necessarily get that bad report back saying, hey, this is wrong with one of these pieces. I need something better. There's always something that somebody could say if it's not to their liking. And it's nice to just get that out of the way if everything's perfect already.
Yeah, I loved it. I loved it so much. I was in love with the process, and we were really lucky to have the artist we had was sick. Like he brought everything to life. If I had
That's
a small
amazing.
idea, he would just go away and just 10x the idea. And yeah, everything was. Yeah, it was such a nice experience being an advisor to the project, advising on the launch, the marketing, the development, the whole thing. Really, but I was not the main guy. There was the other guy was the founder,
Sure.
and it was his baby, and he was more on the making the website. He had the team, he had the designers, he made the website look good, and he was an e-commerce guy. So our plan originally was, right, we'll mint an NFT, we'll use some of the funds for an NFT fund. So we'll speculate on NFTs and we'll try and grow this pool of soul. And the other part of it was really, that was his side, was e-commerce. He's built like a huge e-commerce brand selling watches. He sold millions and millions of dollars worth of watches online.
Wow.
Yeah, really successful company. So that was how it would run. He was the project leader, he was driving it, I was advising. And so my part of it was really to advise on, how do you put this NFT fund together? And then he would go and put the e-commerce side together.
Nice. This bullish growth fund's really got me excited, and I'd love to dabble a little more into that if you're interested. I'd love to know. I know you guys invest into a lot of Solana NFT projects, but what is that criteria to potentially invest into that next Solana project? Or do you even also invest some of the funds into other things besides just Sol NFTs?
And yeah, I tell you what are we now? We're October and we launched in January 2022. So you can imagine what we do now and how we do things now is so different to what
Yeah,
it
it
was
makes
when we
sense.
started.
Everybody changes in this space and moves so fast.
So the first thing we did when we started, which was this idea I can take credit for, we didn't touch any funds at all. And the first thing we decided to do was called the Fearless Premier League, the FPL. So we put 50 projects, 50 of the best NFT projects we could find into the Discord and say, guys, which ones do you like best? We didn't say why, and we just got them to vote on the projects.
That's
and
smart.
Then the top 32, I believe, went into a draw. So we just randomly select them to go against each other in votes.
That's
Um,
awesome. And so
and then
who
it
were
just
the top
turned into
projects
like a
coming out of that
knockout.
FPL?
Turned into a knockout table. So each week we'd have votes. It started at 32, then went to 16, and then we decided we're going to put 420 Sol into
Wow.
these. Sol must have been $100 at the time, so it was a good amount of money. It was like $40,000, and the top 16 got a small amount, like 5 Sol, and then the top 8, 10 Sol. Top
Continues to
4
multiply.
got I think the top 4 got 42 Sol, and then second place got 69 Sol, and first place got 100 Sol of buys. So the top ones to come out from that were actually one that we still have now. It was called Pawn Shop Nomies, which is now known as Banks. And that's something that we still hold on to, and we doubled down or tripled down into that investment afterwards. I think they came second place.
Nice.
There was Zin Dragons, who did pretty well. I think we were buying Zin Dragons for 4 Sol, 3 Sol when they came like high up in the FPL, and they went all the way to 50 Sol. There was a few others in there, the classics like the Degen Apes, the
Yeah.
SMB, the Portals,
The ones
there was
everybody
Meta
knows.
Drag. Yeah, there was
Yeah.
one which kind of manipulated us a little bit, the Meta Drago, because they knew that we were going to buy up their project, so they pumped up their floor price, voted for themselves, got
Wow.
us to buy, and
That's
they dumped
market
on us a
manipulation
little
at
bit.
its
Yeah, so there was all those different sides to it, but overall, it was a fun experience. It was like, how do you gamify like buying NFTs as a group? That was
Definitely
the
a cool
first one we did.
gamification method, I'd say. How's the fund been doing so far since the beginning? You started
I mean,
out with that FPL. You went through all those. You invested into the projects, and how's it been so far? I know we've been through a bear market for quite some time, so it's probably been a little iffy. But I'd love to know.
yeah, it's been iffy. I tell you what, it's been really fun. That's the one thing it's
That's all
been
that
for, hopefully,
matters.
for a lot of people that are part of the community. I'm not saying we perform great, but I don't think we've performed bad. I'd like to think we outperformed the market in general,
Yeah,
definitely the NFT market. But we've supported every project we could possibly find to support. If there's a good reason to support them, then we did it. And we must have bought like thousands and thousands of NFTs over the time we've been doing it. And we tried all
sheesh.
different methods. The second round of the FPL was a traders competition. So we took similar, but instead of voting on projects, we took 16 traders and we gave them different amounts of Sol each. So the first 16, we gave them 5 Sol each. And the winners moved to the next round to get 10 Sol. And the winners of that moved to the next round to get, I think, 50 Sol. And then the final two, the best 2 traders, they got 100 Sol each to trade with.
So they had 100 sold to trade with, or they just
yeah, for a
wow.
month.
I'm surprised nobody ran off with it.
Oh, they did. Not the winners, the 100 Sol guys, but like the
Oh
early
my.
guys. Like, I think one of the guys that was given 5 or 10 Sol right at the start, like, just he was like, "Oh yeah, sorry, my wallet got hacked." Maybe it did, but
Probably
another guy
based out of a
just
third
bought.
world country, and that's his whole month's check right there.
Who knows, man?
Yeah.
We vetted them as much as we could. Another guy bought a load of rugs. I think maybe from himself. I'm not sure, but overall, like we had fun with that. But it goes to show how hard the NFT trading market has been, because hardly any of those guys, even though they were vetted and voted for, not many of them were profitable. Like out
Makes
of
sense.
16 guys, I think
It can be
maybe only 1 or
difficult.
2 were turning a profit trading NFTs. It's a tough market to make profits from in a short time.
So you guys
We had
currently
some good.
investing into more?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we're always constantly, like, we're holding quite a big bag of NFTs in the treasury. We buy them, we sell them, we trade them. We did some really good trades. We did some bad trades. We bought some rugs. We did some, we minted some good stuff. It's been really, like, we've just been across the whole journey of it. Anyone that's been trading NFTs in Solana since 2022 will know what the journey's been like. And it's been the same really for us, but on
It's been a roller
maybe a bigger
coaster.
scale than the normal trader. But at the same time, we've got the challenge of delivering value back to the holders. They're like, "Oh, great, you've got all these NFTs. What does that do for us as holders?" So we've been not only battling with the market and trying to make good trades and buys and sells, but also battling with, how do you convert this treasury into value for the holders of the NFT? So we've been trying all sorts of different things to give value back since we minted, to make sure that people get something back or have the chance to get something back from the treasury,
Yeah, that's a
which
nice
is
approach.
hard, right? So if you were going to do that, how do you balance compounding growth and giving back? And it's when there's profitable months, it's not so bad,
Yeah.
right? So you can say, okay, great, we made 500 Sol this month. We'll take half of that and we'll give that back in rewards to the community. But then what about the next month when you lose 500 soul?
And they're still expecting that 250 back in their pockets.
Maybe, yeah. So it's been a big balancing act, really, trying to balance like value for the community, longevity in the project, making sure that we can survive and still be here, like now, like we are, and also keeping people engaged, giving back to the community in different ways. So we've given away, like, I'm talking like thousands and thousands of soul worth of NFTs back to the community in all different ways, in raffles, in auctions, in a toy machine. We have a machine where you can just put some tokens in that you earn from staking the balls. And you put the tokens in and you get a random prize. It might be some NFTs, it might be some tokens, it might be some soul, it might be something else. So we've tried all of these ways. Exactly, yeah, the V Bullish token.
Nice. I did my research.
Yeah, we started with, it was originally the Bullish token.
I was like, wait a second, I see V Bullish. Is this secondary token or something? But no,
yeah,
I came to realize it's the original token now.
Quite early on, there was talk of doing IDO. So we thought, oh, we'll have a V Bullish, that'll be the pre-IDO token, so everyone can earn that, and then they'll convert that.
Sure.
After we do an IDO for Bullish, like big like public sale for the Bullish token, then people can get airdropped some Bullish depending on how much of V Bullish they have, and that might still be on the cards. We were planning to do it early on.
People are able to stake their NFTs to obtain the V Bullish token. Outside of just that, how does the V Bullish token play a role in the ecosystem, and how will it really empower the community members to want to utilize it and take part in staking their NFTs?
Yeah, the V Bullish token, that was, believe it or not, as far as I know, we at Fearless Bulls, we created the first ever rarity-based staking platform for a 10K collection on Solana.
Wow.
So there was another collection that had the same artist as us called Shadowy Supercoder. And they did great. They were the top collection when we launched. They flew from 2 soul mint to 100 soul floor price in 6 months. They were the top collection when we launched Fearless Bulls, and we have the same artist. And I actually interviewed their founder, who's an incredible guy. And I was trying to understand why all 10,000, they had the same emissions on the token, the shadow token, all identical. And I was like, but the rank 1 or 2 gets the same emissions as rank 9,999. I think I said to him, wouldn't it be cool if you could have the rare ones earn more than the basic ones? So we implemented rarity-based staking. So it goes from, just standard NFT gets standard emissions. If it's more rare, it gets more, all the way up to rank 1 gets 6.9x.
That makes sense. It's definitely a smart feature to add.
Yeah, we thought it was good. Like, in hindsight, I don't know if it was, because what happened, what that does is it suppresses the floor price of the NFT, because the lower rank ones don't earn so much, and so they're going to be sold on the floor, and people will try and trade up to the higher rank, and so you end up with a lower floor price. But with NFTs, that's what people judge you on, is your floor price. So I don't know whether or not it was the smartest thing to do for the overall success of the project, but it's cool. It's a cool feature. Yeah, I like the feature. I like that I like the rarity actually means something, personally.
It's just another bonus. That's how I look at it. Like, just that extra addition to the collection on top of everything else being provided.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so they've been able to use this V Bullish token for, say, all sorts of different things, for raffles, for auctions, for the toy machine. We've been doing clothing. So some of the NFTs in our new collection have t-shirts and hoodies attached.
I see the hat.
In the metadata, we've got the hats. This is not actually an official hat. This is just,
I saw the bull, and that's the first thing that came to mind.
I saw it in the shop. I had to have it. But yeah, people can buy the clothes with the V Bullish token now. So
that's really smart. I don't think I've heard of that one yet. I think actually, no, I have with the Bored Ape Yacht. Yeah. I remember they released their token. I think you're able to buy clothing with theirs as well. But that's the only other time I've really heard of it.
Yeah, it's been done a few times. We're still working on the new site, but you can right now. There's a toy machine where you can go in there and you can buy a hoodie or a t-shirt for the VBullish token, and we've been attaching other things. You see the trainers behind me. We can attach trainers to NFTs, so you can have an NFT with metadata that's got Jordan 4s in the metadata, and
Badass.
then we raffle those for VBullish. So those have been. This is quite kind of a new thing, but those have been performing quite well recently. The chance to win.
You got a size 10.5 for me?
You know what? I don't. But they're nice kicks.
Oh yeah, they're very nice. Jordan's, yeah,
Yeah.
he himself and the company do not mix. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, we can get you a 10.5.
Nice.
So yeah, different ideas around like how do we give more value to this token and more utility for this token. We tried all sorts, man. We tried games. So there's different games like gambling games, flip games, coin. We had a coin flip site where you could flip like heads or tails for VBullish. Like we tried everything, man. Like everything you can possibly imagine. Like the same as most NFT projects did in 2022. We weren't the only
What would you say worked the
guys doing
best?
this stuff. You know what? So far, the trainers, because no one else does it, it's a USP, and people seem to like it, even though they can't directly buy for VBullish just yet. The fact that they can have a chance to win something cool, something tangible, something real world, not just an NFT, that
Something
works
they
well.
can
And the
actually
toy
wear.
machine, yeah, exactly. And the toy machines are good as well or the raffles are good when there's an NFT that's going up in value. Have you heard of OK Bears?
Yeah, who hasn't? If you're on Soul, you got to know OK Bears.
Yeah,
Although
see,
I might not be on Soul that much, but yeah, OK Bears, I've seen them around.
we went really hard on OK Bears. Actually, at the time, I had a guy called Naga he was really good with bots and automation, and he was able to like basically get us loads of OK Bears really early, less than 10 soul when they first launched, like tons. Maybe not. I think maybe we got 12 or 10
Oh,
OK Bears for about 6 to 8 soul each, and they just flew up. They went to 15 soul. I was like, Naga, we should sell some. So we sold OK Bears for like 12, 15. And then they went to like 30, 40. So I was like, okay, we're going to buy back in. So we bought a bunch around 40. And one of them we put up for raffle for VBullish and promoted it. Because the raffle ran for 3 days. In that 3-day period, the OK Bears went from 30 soul to 240 soul.
holy. He got back in the perfect time.
Yeah, but the fact is we raffled it. It was just locked up in that raffle at the perfect time. So we must have sold thousands of tickets. I think we clawed back 5% of the total supply of VBullish just from that one raffle. And the guy that won it was really happy. He's still part of our community now. House Jappa won
Was
the
he the
bear.
most? Did he buy the most tokens?
No, not even. I think he only bought 2 tickets or
Oh
something
my
like that.
goodness, that's the luck of the odds.
Yeah. So like those ones, when we hit things like that, the timing of things like actually like really pumping and people and running it as a raffle at the same time, that's been a big success for us. Is stuff like that because
it's nice. Yeah, it keeps the community engaged, and there's some additional value that comes back into their pockets if they win that raffle. I've seen that a couple times on other chains as well, and it seems if you put quality projects like NFTs of quality projects in that raffle mechanism, I people are always going to flock to it because people always want that cheap discounted mint if they're able to secure it off the luck of their odds. And I think it's really smart, really engaging, and really brings the community back to where they need to be.
yeah, it worked. It worked good at the time. Like we did it a few times. We caught ABC was a similar one, HG project. We caught that and put that in a toy machine, and everyone was spinning the toy machine to win the ABC as it was running up. And yeah, that was a good time. It doesn't work quite the same anymore because NFTs you don't see them really running up
Yeah,
like quite in the same way. They might pump a bit. They might mint for 2 sol and go to 10, but it's not like they're going to 200.
not the same margins
Not,
that you were seeing back in 2022 and 2021. I say.
it's hard, man.
Yeah,
Trading NFTs today is not the same as it was as trading NFTs in 2021. Like to even 2022, it was quite an easy game, really. In hindsight, we had it so good back then. We could, yeah, if you had the whitelist or the access or the friends in the right groups to tell you what was minting and when, then you could, even just regardless of fund or treasury or anything else, just as an individual trader, you could make really good money off flipping and trading NFTs. Now it's hard. It's a lot more competitive. There's bots. There's all sorts of different things to contend with, which you didn't really have to battle those things so much back in those times.
Makes sense. I'd love to know, Trix, where do you see the future of this project heading? I know you've tried out a lot of different things in the space. You've learned a lot from everything that you've tried out. I'd love to know, where do you see the future of Fearless Bulls Club?
Yeah, man. We've built our e-commerce side out now, so I'm interested in that side. Is like scaling that, like seriously scaling it.
Yeah.
Like, I like e-commerce anyway. For my agency, I've been involved in that stuff, and I think there's always going to be a future in selling good quality products and scaling that. So that side, I see a good future for Fearless Bulls with the e-com, with as a way to firstly like turn profit as a project, but also as a way to onboard more people to Solana and more people to Web3. How do we get the next 1,000 Fearless Bulls holders to join us? In my mind, it's okay, we'll promote products, t-shirts, trainers, hoodies, other things. We've got some other products lined up as well. Promote them to Web2 audiences. We know how to do advertising, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram,
Yeah.
Google, all the standard like stuff, Twitter. Promote these products, make good quality products, get collabs, build our audience in the Web2 space.
Network.
And then great, okay, we sell 1,000 products, then we've got an email list of 1,000 buyers who like the products, hopefully, that we've sold to them, and then we can hopefully invite them to our Discord, join our community, join our Twitter group. How about we would drop you an NFT as a gift, or maybe just come and buy one of our like low-end entry-level NFTs. And
Yeah.
so that's how I see the growth of the community and the projects and the awareness. On the flip side of it, for the future of the way we trade NFTs as a group and as a community, it's not in having one big, huge fund which is shared between 10,000 holders. From everything I've seen and experienced, that model is, I'm not going to say it would never work, but I'd say it's very hard to make it work.
Very unlikely for it to work. It's so hard to keep everybody constantly engaging with something like that. Even with DAO structure, sometimes if you don't have people truly committed to be on board, you're not necessarily always going to get the amount of votes you want.
Yeah, exactly. It's very complex, and we've tried every angle from it. And I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. I'm really happy with what we've done so far. I love it, and hopefully the holders. I can see that a lot of them are still with us and still happy, and that a lot of them have got some value from what we've done. But the direction that we've been going in really this year is smaller groups of people who come together and collectively buy into a collection. And we call that syndicates. So that's the direction that we're looking to scale Fearless Bulls out into, is basically smaller groups. It might be 10, 15, 20 people that all want to do well together as a team. So we'll buy into a collection together.
So how would that necessarily work? So you divide all these groups up with different people in each group, and then they'd all have the same sort of objective of, I guess, making more SOL than they started with?
Yeah, the objective is to get value from it. It might not necessarily just be purely financial. There might be other value that you can get from holding these NFTs. Everyone in Solana is flying to Amsterdam next week for Breakpoint. There's probably 50 parties happening. Most of those parties, you need different NFTs to get into. So if you're a holder of one of these syndicates that we have for Mad Lads, for example, then anyone who's part of that little group, they can get access to the party if they want it. Or maybe there's other things. There might be airdrops. There might be other benefits. They might be able to use it as their PFP. It doesn't necessarily have to be like, I think just looking at NFTs from purely a financial upside perspective is a bit flawed because you can end up really disappointed if you do that. But if you can find other ways to benefit, like access to the community, access to other holders, airdrops, alpha, whitelist spots, events, there's all other ways of benefiting. But yeah, ultimately, yeah, we'd like to make money from this and
Yeah,
we'd like to be
makes
profitable,
sense.
but it doesn't have to be that, I think is my point. And so far we've made a start. We've done 20 of these syndicates this year,
Nice. So far, so
different
good.
ones. So far, mixed. The first one we did was actually May 2022. It was a complete disaster. Absolute disaster. Tripping Ape tribe. They minted after OK Bears. We were all hyped up off OK Bears, and we thought this new one, Tripping Apes, would be the next OK Bears. And
Yeah,
it went
always the next.
instead of going from 200 Sol, it started at 100 Sol and went straight to 2 Sol over the period of
Oh
about a
my,
year.
the complete
Really
opposite.
slowly just bled out. So, so our first syndicate was completely, yeah, it was not the best experience because we got all of these people together. We all I put money into it. We all collectively put in funds
Yeah,
to gather up some Tripping Apes on launch day. We are like, oh, this is great. We got a bit unlucky. Naga was in Vegas. His bot didn't work, and we missed the early stage, so we
dang,
ended up
that's
buying a bit
good.
like half an hour later than we wanted to, and we got the NFTs in the end, and we got some really good ones, and we
Yeah,
thought we got a really not a bad entry, but they just at no point did Tripping Apes ever go up in price.
it's a shame just to hear.
Every dip, we were like, oh, I'm sure they'll pump. They never pumped. They never did anything. And also, you know what? We gave everybody who took part the opportunity to exit whenever they wanted to, pretty much. Some
At least
people
they're all
exited in
committed as
different.
you were, and it's not like it's not like they were wanting to just run away from it either. They're committed also to staying a part of it, trying to see if there was any sort of life left remaining in the project. And you brought up a good point, mentioning how NFTs don't necessarily always have to bring some sort of financial gain. I believe that there's going to come a point in time where NFTs are much more than just financial gain. They're
Mm.
gonna be sports event tickets. They're gonna be concert tickets. They're literally gonna be so many things plus more that you'll be able to just turn into an NFT. Like my ID someday will be an NFT. My social security card, my birth certificate. I guarantee all these things will be NFTs one day because the blockchain is so much more secure and just structured to that way of you'll more than likely never lose those sort of documents if you know how to really navigate this Web3 space. And I really think besides that financial gain, there's going to be so many other additional value points that are brought to this space over time.
Yeah, you're right. You're 100% right. It's
Yeah.
like the syndicates is one thing. Like I say, we had the bad time with Tripping Apes. We still have them. They're still there. People can claim they're Tripping Apes, but actually, like the fearless balls that they're attached to are probably worth more than the Tripping Apes in some cases. We moved on from Tripping Apes, and we didn't do any for 6 months. But then after that, we started with there's a meme coin called Bonk on Solana, which did really well around Christmas Day, Boxing Day, leading into New Year. So we launched our second syndicate was Bonk on New Year's Eve, and we raised 420 Sol, which was Sol wasn't worth very much. It was probably I don't know $10, maybe 20. It wasn't a huge amount anyway, but yeah, we put that 420 Sol, put it all into Bonk, and within I think it was 4 days, the Bonk was worth $33,000. So everyone who got into that syndicate was happy. Like they were able to exit whenever they wanted to. People got out at different phases. They claimed their bonk from their initial, and
That's a big win.
that was a big win. And we've done, like I said, we've done 20 since then this year of different. Some of them gone really great, some of them not so great. But it's been a
Roller
mix, and it's
coaster. This
been
whole space, it
yeah.
moves so weirdly, and you can't necessarily trust every project you're trying to invest into.
But it's refined our model so much because
Yeah.
when we started, we weren't attaching shares of these NFTs or these syndicate. We weren't attaching them to NFTs. We do that now. If your share, your 10% of the bonk syndicate is represented by one NFT, that you can send that to us anytime. We'll send you 10% of the bonk in the fund. We've done that with all different things. We've done it with ordinals. We've done it with a DGOD on Ethereum. We did it with an OK, one of the rarest OK bears. Some of them don't last very long. Some of them might only last 3 or 4 days. Like we put the fund together, we syndicate, we tag up the shares, the thing, whatever, it 3x or 4x, and then everybody cash out their shares and on to the next one. Some of them are long term. Some of them might be 3, 4, 5 years that we hold on to these syndicates. And yeah, so we're looking to grow these things. We're in any big collection that you can think of. We're either looking at or we've already got syndicates, and we're looking to scale that stuff. But then, how about there's potential to scale it further? What if we wanted to buy a house?
People are doing that. People are buying, like, there's NFT projects who are solely focused on just real estate.
Yeah, so we can attach shares of the house to NFTs.
Yep.
So things like that's quite interesting to me, like buying a villa in Portugal for $500,000, and we've split that into 100 shares, so you can buy one share for $5,000. Your share is represented by an NFT. It's tradable, and we can rent out that house on Airbnb, and we can send distributions every month to. It's very simple to.
I know plenty of people who are doing that in this space as we speak, and I've hosted people somewhat similar as well. And I think somewhat similar to the houses, Rolex and watches are one of those sources of value. Nice. Are one of those sources of value where, one, the price continues to go up depending on the watch, but two, you could turn a Rolex into an NFT and then start not necessarily dispersing profit shares, but holding it in a community vault of some sort. And then once the time comes and the price appreciates so much and you want to sell, profits go back to holders. It works in so many different ways, and there's so many different assets in the real world that people in Web3 don't necessarily consider to be viable for Web3 that are going to be here eventually. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah, and there's all sorts of issues with doing things like that. It's legal side of it with running DAOs. There's the security of it. Like, how do you prove that the watch is actually there? And
yeah, there are a lot of other factors.
Maybe some trust, maybe some proof, maybe a camera that's on the watch 24/7, so you can go look at your watch anytime. I spoke about this at length with a watch dealer in London. He said he's got a community. He wanted to launch an NFT project, where he could just basically cash out and cash grab and sell NFTs without attaching any assets to the NFTs. And I told him that he wouldn't be the first person to do that.
Yeah, you're right. He wouldn't. And if he does it so transparently,
different art projects, and maybe there is some value in a community of people that like to buy and sell watches, and they're all together, and you give them some alpha and you give them early access to buying the new shit when it comes out. So there's ways it can be done, but my concept to him was simple, just take X amount of watches and attach them to these NFTs and gamify it a little bit, and then find a way of vaulting and storing them. But he wasn't really so keen. I don't think he really understood the concept at the time. This is
probably not
way back, maybe 18 months ago, that we talked about, and never got around to it. But that's where we're going anyway. I don't know where it's going to end up. I hope that we're still here in 5 years or in 10 years, and we've syndicated out properties and watches and all sorts of things. But
Definitely.
Regardless, for now, at the moment, is a small project, and we're trying to have fun with it. Trying to support the Solana ecosystem. We're still 2 years in. We've got a treasury of assets that we're trying to protect and grow, and we've got a community of holders that we're doing our best to give good value to them however we can. So that's where we're at. The syndicates model, hopefully it will work. We submitted to Hyperdrive Hackathon last week. Always looking to learn more, learning to code, trying to do more on the dev side, trying to build the community. So that's where it's an interesting market. This week's been a good week. Obviously, the Bitcoin's pumped, the Solana's pumped even more than the Bitcoin. How have you been getting on? Have you been trading?
I used to trade a lot more than I do now. I'm typically just a dollar cost average guy now at this point. I just see long-term value more than short-term value in this market. and I'd rather not get rugged out all of my long-term gains potentially from short-term losses. That's how I
Yeah.
perceive it all. It's just so hard to really justify how the market's going to move considering I'm based out of the United States and I see how the United States economy is right now, and nothing inside of this economy assures me that Bitcoin's going to continue to go up in the short term. And so I think there is going to be some sort of black swan event that really revolutionizes the way that cryptocurrency is looked at and perceived to be. And then I think that's when crypto is going to have its sort of moonshot, probably closer to 2024, hopefully 2024. But I really
Yeah.
only have one last question for you, Trix. And I just want
Yeah,
to
man.
also say thank you for taking the time. It's been a real pleasure to speak about your project. What would some advice be that you would give to an individual who's interested in joining the Fearless Bulls Club and is new to the space?
Hmm. So, yeah, good question. Firstly, go to Magic Eden or Tensor and just pick up one NFT.
All
Not an
you need is
expensive
one.
one. Just pick up one to start with. If you want to join the Fearless Bulls Club, it's there on Magic Eden, Fearless Bulls Club, or the Fearless Bulls, which is the PFP collection. Yeah, pick up one, join our Discord, verify, you get access to the holders chat. Yeah, come and see what we do in there. That's probably the best place to start. From there, there's a slightly higher tier of entry for the Fearless Bulls, which is called the Elites, which you can only access the Elites if you have a Celestial Bull skin. So they're a little bit more expensive. The Celestials from either collection, you can see filtered by Bullskin. So if you want the early alpha and the access to all the syndicates first, refusal for all of those things, then you get a Celestial. So yeah, that would be my advice for anyone who wants to join Fearless Bulls Club is just, come in. Yeah, we don't have any general chat for non-holders. You have to have one to talk in the chat. So just pick up one. From there, you can stake it. You get bullish, and we can guide you. And if you like it, then yeah, some people like it and they come and accumulate and they support us and believe in the project. Some people just happy to have one just for the culture, for the art. But yeah, advice for if anyone getting into NFTs, just don't do it for the money. Is probably my advice. I
It's
wouldn't
great
want to
advice.
suggest anybody to go into NFTs thinking you're gonna make a big flip or a big profit, because I think that's not the right attitude to come to NFTs with. If you want to come and enjoy the culture of NFTs, enjoy the art that's in there, meet new people that are also into similar things to you, the crypto stuff and the NFT stuff, and then it's a lovely thing to do. It's a nice way to stay active in the market. It's a nice way if you want to go to events to be able to meet people in real life. There's so many benefits to NFTs, but I think and you can make money, but it's don't go into it with the idea of like you're in there to get rich because it's not that easy. So
Any closing thoughts?
that would be my advice, really. Yeah, just to try to enjoy the thing.
Yeah.
There's
Enjoy the
so much.
moment. This is a
There's
unique
so
moment in
much to
time.
enjoy. There's so much stuff in NFTs to enjoy. Like
Yeah.
Solana, like I'm a Solana. Like we do other chains, but I love Solana.
Yeah.
Like and yeah, there's so much in Solana. There's so much to get excited about there. The innovation is like mind blowing if you start digging into it. There's so many good projects, so many great people doing stuff. Yeah, like definitely would be, yeah, look into the whole Solana ecosystem as well.
Awesome.
What are you
Trix,
saying? Are you into Solana? Have you got some soul?
see, I don't have soul. I'll be honest with you. I'm a, I'm an all in a. What's the best way of me putting this? I'm big into efficiency, I'd say, and sustainability. And I've seen the Soul Network go down sometimes, and it's not necessarily been super appealing to me. And so I've really stuck with the chains that I truly believe that their tech is going to be not necessarily onboarded by the masses, but onboarded by potentially big corporate companies and the banking sector. So I really focus on XRP, Quant, XDC, and HBAR. Those are like my main four. If I had to go outside of that, I'd probably be picking up some Chainlink and Bitcoin. Soul's got in my heart. I'd say in many different places. I used to be pretty big into investing into Soul NFTs at one point. Not necessarily super big, but I was dabbling in the space. I saw OK Bears rise and I saw some other things move as well. Besides that, though, this space moves so quickly. and you really just want to make sure that you're investing in the right assets. And I see Sol being one of them, hence a lot of these big partnerships that they have partnered up with. It's just not been one of those coins that's really caught my eye the most.
Yeah, yeah. H
And
bar is an
I like to
interesting
stay to
one.
a smaller diversity as well. I don't like going super far stretch. I like just staying maybe 5 coins max. That's how I really invest in crypto.
I think you have to. Like you
Yeah.
have to, you don't have to, but I think yeah, if I was gonna do things, I would try to specialize in. I don't hold loads of stuff. I got some Sui. I have some I got some Bitcoin, some Ethereum, and some
Nice.
Solana. But I don't touch too many other chains these days. But I can see where H bars on the corporate side,
Hedera's coming up.
what they're
I'll tell you
doing.
that.
Like Hedera is it's a slow burn. That was something I was into years ago, but I could
And
see there's
and
potential for
Ripple just won that lawsuit in the SEC. That's a
yeah.
big factor as well. And that's why I've been watching that lawsuit since the very beginning. And for me to see that they won that after all those years, it brings chills to my spine as we speak. And it's really so many people have doubted XRP for such a long time. And it's just really reassuring to know that the United States calls it a cryptocurrency.
Yeah, and that shows high conviction. If you've been there all the way through that and
Yeah.
you're still with it, then that's huge
Yeah.
conviction. So
And
that
then
I hope
Quant
that
just
pays off.
wraps everything in to one piece. Quant's kind of the overlord.
Yeah, wow. Maybe I need to look into some
We can
quant
dabble
as
after
well.
this podcast. It's been a
Yeah,
real pleasure, Trix, and I
yeah. Thank you
appreciate
so
your
much.
time once again. And
Likewise.
if you have any other Solana projects out there that you'd love for me to host as well, feel free to get me in touch with them. But besides
Oh
that
yeah, I
point,
will.
ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Alt Kings podcast. And if you like this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you all next episode. Peace.